Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the IRI AT Training Center. My name is Cody Mitchell. I am the training manager over here. I'm also here with my colleague and co-presenter, Jeff Gardner, and company CEO. Today, we are going to be showing you our Dolphin SuperNova software. This is webinar session 3. We are going to be covering some advanced features for education and showing some remote learning features. So moving along, first things first, what is SuperNova? So SuperNova is magnification and screen reading software for Windows. They have a few different versions of the software. We have SuperNova Magnifier, SuperNova Magnifier and Speech, SuperNova Magnifier and Screen Reader. They also have just a Dolphin screen reader for just totally blind users, as well as a version called Dolphin Enterprise, which is to be used in a Citrix environment or remote desktop. Some of the key features with SuperNova include, obviously it can magnify your screen all the way up to at least 64 times. It's going to provide you, of course, speech feedback using all sorts of different natural sounding voices. The software also is able to support Chrome, Microsoft Office, of course, as well as Google Docs, as I know many students and professionals are using that these days. A couple of the other things that are great is that it works with multiple monitors, not only just 2 monitors, but you can get all the way, I've heard of people using all the way up to 4, as well as with touchscreens. And so it also has the ability to scan and read printed documents aloud. And we'll cover a little bit more of that stuff once we get further into this presentation. So today, a few of the things that we're going to be covering, as I mentioned, the SuperNova works with Google Docs and Microsoft Office, as well as Chrome. We're going to be showing those features. Many students these days are, like I said, using Google Docs and all that jazz. And there has been many issues with magnification and screen reading software playing in that environment nicely. And so Dolphin's done a nice job of creating some updates to allow SuperNova to be much more friendly in the Google Chrome setting. So another thing that we'll be covering is the SuperNova Connect and View feature. This feature really, in my opinion, separates it from the rest of the competition out there. Basically what you have is you have live magnification of printed documents and even the ability to scan the document and have it read back to you. We're also going to be covering how this Connect and View feature also has the ability to connect to an interactive whiteboard, as well as to connect directly into a teacher's computer. Also, we're going to show the multiple monitor support, as we mentioned, and the ability to do the split screen and expand your desktop across an array of monitors. And if you have even touchscreen monitors, SuperNova plays very nicely with those as well. So a couple of the other things that's nice about SuperNova is, well, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, magnification and screen reading software generally uses a ton of resources on your PC. With SuperNova, we can actually get by with an i3 processor, a minimum of 4 gigs of RAM. We still recommend a solid state drive, but I know that other magnification and screen reading software out there, a lot of times is requiring at least 16 gigs of RAM, an i7 processor with a huge hard drive. And so for us, we've had a lot of, professionals, teachers and whatnot, complaining that the cost to put together a computer with those type of specific system requirements can be rather expensive. So the fact that we use much less computing power allows you to get a much more affordable PC, and also the program is much more stable. So,
and it works with stuff. Stay on that. Stay on that.
All right.
Go back and then switch to my cam.
All right. Sorry about that. So now we are going to switch over to the other camera here, so Jeff can show you all some of our hardware options that we have available. Yes, the sound should be on, sir. So let me jump over real quick. There you are. All righty.
Good stuff. We'll see when it actually comes through on the presentation.
All right, I've got your view here. I'm seeing the screen.
Okay, looks like it switched over. Hey, you're seeing me. Hi, everybody. There's my hand. Lucky for everybody, you don't have to see my face as part of this. I'll apologize in advance. Due to social distancing and other such things, I got to set this all up myself, and I am the least technical person that we have here. We actually just ended our last train wreck a couple minutes ago, so everything's working right now, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so to start out, like Cody was saying, we're going to run this today on a Surface Pro. This is just a tablet, not a powerful computer. This particular one is an i5 8 gig, which is above our kind of minimum spec, but kind of what we recommend is the minimum spec here. If you want to run smoothly, be able to run other programs and things, look at an i5 processor with 8 gigs of RAM, and you'll be fine. Make sure you have an SSD drive, a solid state drive, but then you can run on, you know, it's $600 I think I paid for this thing. So this is actually part of a package that we have, which includes hardware and software called Connect and Learn. Comes with the tablet, comes with this display stand that folds down, you can take with you, but then allows you to use it as a computer, lift it up, use the camera as a magnifier. Comes with high contrast wireless keyboard and mouse, backpack, USB hub, all sorts of things. Additionally, you can add in this guy, I'm sorry, I'm hitting keys as I do this, the Connect and View webcam. It's a simple webcam you can add in there and have live magnification and OCR. So we have some packages, but just to reinforce, this is just running on a pretty basic system. Now, other thing that we talked about in terms of hardware, this is going to work with these two monitors at the same time. I've got this one split out, just plugged into a Surface. You can even get a dock and plug in multiple monitors to a Surface, run 3-4 monitors off of a device like this, or a standard computer often has 2 connections anyway. But the point is, SuperNova works in 2 monitors. To use the mouse, I'm going to press Control and roll the mouse wheel. And then whichever monitor I'm on, I can control magnification, I can pan around, I'll move over to the small monitor, same thing. I can move stuff around, I can magnify. I can go a little bit too much, actually. And now if I want to change other things, I can actually take this control panel, the SuperNova control panel, and move it across to the other monitor.
Focus detected.
Let me roll back a little bit so we can actually
There you go.
view that. So now I have this over here, and
Left mouse button, SuperNova,
where is it? There we go.
control panel.
And it actually tells you on here which monitor you have. So it'll say on monitor 2, if I have it over here, it's going to control this one. And then everything that I want to change, I can make changes that are related just to this monitor here. And then, and I'm not sure you noticed, but as I change
page and hit 0.66.
So I've got it set on high verbosity, so it's going to announce everything that I do, because I'm assuming that some of the viewers are not sighted. So I'll try to pause and not talk at the same time, or I'll just shut it off if it's talking about things that are a little bit too much. But if you notice, if you can see these screens, you'll see as I change the magnification on the large screen here, it doesn't change anything on the other screen. This is completely independent. Same thing with the contrast. Everything's going to be related to this monitor. So I can, have showing sighted people that don't need magnification. I can have different magnification for notes I'm looking at live, or any number of reasons. You want to be able to have this be an independent function. So you can definitely do that on either one. And then when I want to move it back over here, I just drag it with my mouse over, and now I've got everything I can do on here. Again, nothing's going to happen here. I'm doing it all independently on this one right here. So now you add the touchscreen option into it, and this just gets that much cooler. because I don't want to have to drag the toolbar around here all the time. I want to be able to have controls right at my beck and call. And in fact, when I'm using touchscreens, what I do is I just kind of get rid of this control panel so it's not in my face. I can just be doing whatever I want to do.
Comma, including touch screens, period.
Apologize again. It's going to talk quite a bit, but I want to make sure everybody's included. So now I'm going to reach out to the large screen and pinch and zoom on that. I really am. Is this?
Just touch first.
Oh, you know what? I think I turned the magnification off when I brought that over.
There you go.
Or no, the control panel. Left mouse
Okay,
button,
so now it'll work.
visual,
It does pinch and zoom a whole lot better when you have it on there,
magnifier on check box.
or when you have magnification actually on, and it should still, yeah, it's still on over here. So now I'm pinching and zooming. I can do everything here, but let's assume I didn't drag that control panel over here. If I want to still have controls, I just hit 3 fingers on here, and it pops up an additional high contrast control menu. And on this one, I can turn on and off the magnification. I can change the contrast. I can pull up this guy if the control panel is minimized. Then I can press that. It'll come back, and I can find it easily. You can get to help, increase, decrease your magnification if you'd rather do that.
Magnification group, magnifier on check box.
If you'd rather do that, then then press the ear or pinch and zoom. You can start and stop the speech. You can play, read from here. Even has a high contrast keyboard to type on the screen, so you really could just work completely on the screen. And then I come back over here, same deal. I can move around, do whatever I want. My 3 fingers, I've got this control pad again, change the contrast, turn magnification on and off, do everything. So it just gives you so much more control when you use the touch screens. So what did I miss, Cody?
You did a great job, Jeff. So just one of the things that I wanted to press on this is the biggest thing that that we're really trying to show here too is the fact that yes, you can adjust your magnification and contrast modes independently on each screen, right? And there you go, Jeff. Another feature that they're going to be adding in. So there are multiple magnifier views within here, right? So you have your full screen. You could, magnify just a portion of your screen, or just have like a little magnifying window, if you will. And so as of right now, as I mentioned with the multiple monitor support, you're only able to adjust your contrast mode and magnification levels independently. Your magnifier view, however, is going to be the same. So if you have it full screen on your primary PC, it's also going to be full screen on your external monitor. But as far as I've been told, Dolphin plans to be providing a little bit of an update soon that you will be able to adjust your magnifier views also on each screen. So that will just be an additional feature that they're adding in there. Also too, with the multiple monitors, I'm not sure that I mentioned this before, but we have it hooked up to just one monitor right here. You actually can hook it up as far as I know, to as many as you need. I've actually had people hook up as many as 4 monitors at once, and which was very impressive in my opinion. And I don't know, I've never heard of anyone using more than 4 monitors, but I would imagine if they did, SuperNova will work just fine. So
just to preempt any questions there, people are often trying to figure out what their computer can do. And this is relating really directly to what your computer can do. So in terms of this device, the Surface Pro, I have 1 monitor connection. Therefore, it's going to allow me to use 1 monitor. I can buy an external dock for something that only has that allows me to split to more monitors, because it has another graphics card in it. It has the hardware and the software required to split out to more monitors. So if you have the hardware that can do it, you can physically do it in Windows, then SuperNova can keep up with it. And there's all sorts of settings in there, where you can look at how you set up these monitors. Whoops, I guess I have to look under the correct menu. So you can set them up so that they span different.
Extended desktop group.
Sorry, it's going to talk.
Applications. Check.
go ahead and hit control if you like while
Yeah.
it's speaking.
So you can do
Side-by-side
span. You can do side-by-side applications like I'm doing. set up a special presentation mode where you show the desktop on one and monitor on the other. We use that a lot for the connect and view, so you can see your desktop and then see your magnifier on another screen. There's a mouse buffer section, which is kind of cool because I like it. The way I have it set up, I can just bust right between here. But maybe you're using an application where you want some more resistance on the side, and that allows you to have that if you set up a mouse buffer, and then you can set up the amount of resistance that you have. And then you have the switch monitor key, which then you can obviously change and add to. And then you can allow these settings if you don't want to have different magnification and different color settings, you can turn that on and off.
Mm-hmm. In addition to that too, what you mentioned is the presentation mode, Jeff, and what that also allows you to do is, let's say if you are presenting on an external screen, the presentation mode actually, what it does is on that external screen is it will still be sharing the computer screen, but the external monitor will not show the magnification features. So if a visually impaired user is presenting to a fully sighted person or a group or what have you not, the external monitor will not be affected by the magnification features. So
yeah, very handy to give a presentation, be able to zoom in on what you want, see what you want, and not have to do that for everybody.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So
all right, so I think we're ready then.
We got a couple questions. Let me check this out
before we move setups here.
All right, we've got Donald Lang. Is the large touchscreen you are using connect to the Surface via DP only, not using USB 3?
Now, every touchscreen that I know of uses, I haven't used a USB-C touchscreen. I would guess that with the USB-C, you only need that connection because that'll carry the USB signal and the video and power and everything else. In this case, this is an older monitor, and this is an older Surface that doesn't have a USB-C. So I have a USB dock connected in, and then that's connected to control this as a mouse. And then the display port, mini display port connection is running the video. It should be running the audio, but it wasn't. So I put this Bluetooth speaker here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so
this is an ancient old guy.
Yeah. So yeah, generally speaking, as you're probably what you're poking at, Don, is yeah, with a standard HDMI display, you have issues with, I mean, it'll display it, but you can't actually use the touchscreen functionality. And so where you would use the USB 3. And as Jeff mentioned, I believe now with the USB-C, it not only has that display functionality, but then it will allow you to use the touchscreen features too.
Yeah, and with the new Connect and Learn bundles, they will come with the Surface Pro 8, which does have a USB-C connection, and therefore should, to a USB-C touchscreen monitor, carry both connections. However, I would still recommend that people consider a traditional connection with a video connection and a USB connection, because these suckers now are like $200, and they used to be $400, $600. The USB-C monitors are new and they're quite a bit more expensive. So if you can run an additional cord, you could probably save yourself a couple $100, $300.
Definitely.
Any more questions?
Yes, we had Linda asking about the term span, which I believe she's referring to the external monitors. And what that is basically, Linda, you can span your desktop or expand it to multiple monitors. So it'll kind of be like extending it, if you will.
Yeah, it would be weird with two monitors that aren't the same size, but imagine if I had, especially ones that didn't have boundaries right next to each other, then it would essentially just make the screen fit around all of that. And there'd be a brief interruption between it, but it would just be kind of making a 24-inch monitor into a 50-inch monitor.
No problem, guys. All right. You guys got any more questions for us at the moment?
We can do more questions at the end too. If there's any more related to this setup, that'd be good, because I'm gonna have to move the camera.
It looks like we are good for now.
Okay.
So give me a second here. Let's jump back over. All right. So Jeff's gonna take a minute and get some stuff set up for us over there as we transition. So Jeff's going to be setting up right now. He's setting up this Connect and View feature. And as I mentioned, this is a feature that allows your PC or Surface or Windows device, if you will, to be used as a live magnifier with optical character recognition. And for those of you who aren't aware of what optical character recognition is, it's just a fancy term for it'll scan a printed document and read it aloud to you. It also has the ability to connect to a smartboard or interactive whiteboard, so the kids can sit literally anywhere they want in a classroom. I know that's can be an issue, you know, especially in like a higher ed setting where you have stadium seating or stuff like that. And especially nowadays with our current COVID situation, to where kiddos aren't even in classes at all. So we are going to be showing our version of that so that you guys can see how that will all work. So I did also mention that the optical character recognition that it has will scan printed documents, but it also has the ability to scan files such as inaccessible PDFs. So if you do have a PDF on your PC, you can use the scan and read function within SuperNova, and it will convert that for you into a Word doc. Oh, I got a couple more questions here. All righty, give me one.
Project list view PC screen only. Selected 1 of 4 PC screen only. Duplicate. Unselected 2 of 4 duplicate. Extend.
Jeff, Don's asking, does your all-in-one Surface Pro package come with a Surface Pen?
Not at this point.
Not at this moment, Don, but that can, of course, be arranged, especially for you, sir, because you have a special place in my heart. I know. I gotta schmooze him. So.
Okay, I think we're somewhat ready.
All right, you set up over there for me, Jeff.
I don't know.
We're gonna give it a whirl. I appreciate you guys' patience with this. It's been an interesting morning, to say the least, getting this all set up.
Okay, we switched over.
I will switch us over right now. We're going to jump back over to our camera so we can check out Jeff. We'll make sure that we've got all this stuff lined up. All right, it looks like we got your screen in there.
Okay, so I've got this Ziggy cam here. This is the Connect and View cam that we have. And this will fold down, by the way, real compact. You can take it with you. I'm going to get it up nice and high so I can get the full page in there. And so what I'm going to do on the control panel here, one of the options is Connect and View. And I should have it set up for my
Connect and View.
camera.
To move the mouse between the Connect and View window and the desktop, use the Home button. For no the control panel.
All right.
Page.
So actually, I have it
Connect and View. Check.
Just a moment. I'm going to set it up for full screen so it's easier to see.
Select screen for no the control panel. Page. Most pull down button.
Now I've got a document under there. And
Left mouse button.
rotate that so get a better view on it.
There we go. That looks great.
There we go. So now, I've got a live magnifier just by plugging in a webcam. I have your controls you would expect. You can pan around in the view. You can increase, decrease magnification.
Left mouse button.
On a touch screen. This isn't a touch screen, but if I had that, I could be pinching and zooming and making those changes. I've got
Left mouse button.
contrast changes I can make.
Left mouse button.
You can rotate the image like I just did. You can freeze. You can even take a picture if you want. If you want to scan and read it, you press that button. If you want to close all things and have your full screen, you can do that. Let me show you how the reader works. I'm just going to click on the scanning icon.
Left, scan and read. Image.
That will scan and read
No focus detected.
and automatically open the reader. Now I've got this in a split screen view. I can change it to a full screen view like this. This is traditionally how I like to have it. And let's see. So then up here I can close it. Icons give me the chance to close it. increase or decrease the magnification, play and stop.
2019 seminar topics may include.
I can get a live view if I want to see the live material, and we'll even
Introduction,
follow
van,
along.
loss,
in the video.
travel and transportation, health and wellness, communication and technology, recreation and leisure, arts and hobby.
Then I have a split screen to the side if I want to do that. The horizontal split screen, and then full screen option. Additionally, in the document reader, if I click on the thing that looks like a piece of notepaper, I can append that, add additional documents, I can save it, and do all kinds of other things. Now, if I want to do that view, oh mama,
For now, the control panel, left mouse button,
back to my connected view, there's some options I have underneath it.
menu,
I can go
Connected view.
to
No selection
modes,
menu.
and then settings, whoops, and then view.
The bottom short.
And I'm going to dock it to the top.
For now, the control panel, page.
So now when I
mode,
turn it on,
view. To move the mouse between. A button.
I'm
For
going
now,
to
the
get that.
control panel, page. Modes group.
So I've got
Connected view.
on the
check,
top.
check box.
On the top, I've got my live magnification. On the bottom, I've got my desktop. I can still be doing work and reading something else. If I don't have a touch screen, what I do is I press cap locks and the middle mouse button, and then that'll
Caps
move me
on.
up here. And now I'm up in here where I can change
Caps
the
off.
magnification and
Left mouse button.
contrast
Left
and whatever
mouse
else I
button.
want to change for this guy. When I want to go back, I hit caps lock mouse
Monitor
button
1.
again, and I'm down here. So it's real easy to
View.
move between the views and manipulate different things at different times. And now we really need, when we're looking at something with live magnification, something we can pan around in easily, but that we
Caps
can
on.
also get back
Caps on.
to our, our desktop and look at our notes or whatever we're doing on there. And it's especially good if you have like a 55-inch TV like that. And that's lots of fun. So anything that I missed for?
Not really. One thing that I'd like you to do, Jeff, is go back to full screen right now for connected view, because I want to kind of explain one of the things that I really like
No
about
sir.
this and why the multiple monitors is awesome. So
Screen short. For now, the control panel.
So-
Page. Modes pull down.
as we've explained that this has multiple monitor support, right? And clearly you can use it as a CCTV. So why this is great with the combination of the two is, so as Jeff mentioned, we have the Connect and View camera, which is a low profile webcam that has a downward facing camera that faces towards your desk. It plugs into your laptop via USB, and it's very lightweight, weighs less than a pound. But what is neat about this is if you do have a external monitor, as Jeff is showing right now, he has dedicated the full screen right here to the external monitor for this live magnification or connect and view feature. So what you can't see is on his actual PC that is displaying this, he still has full real estate. He has his full desktop on that screen. So basically you kind of have a low profile CCTV on your desk, as well as they still have their computers where they could have Word or something like that, or Notepad or something open so they could take notes, and then still have that entire, 55-inch screen like we have right here to be able to view. And so it's a huge feature in here. All right, let me see. I got a few questions piling in. How much vision does a user need? I guess it really depends on your condition. Generally, this feature is designed for low vision users, so totally blind users generally aren't using the magnifications feature. However, you can connect, using this feature, the scan and read function, you can connect a scanner, a flatbed scanner to it, to where, of course, the scanner won't allow you to get the magnification, which you wouldn't necessarily need it anyways if you're totally blind, but it'll just allow you to scan the document in and have it read aloud and make it accessible for you. So, can a user save OCR audio files like MP3 for playing later on another device, like a Victor Reader? You can't save them as MP3 in here, Don, but you could save them in an alternate format afterwards, and then there is software that you could use Dolphin also has additional software where you can convert it into an MP3. All right, we got another question. Forgive me if you've already, got my new friend Miranda up here in Vancouver. She's asking, why do you recommend SuperNova over its competitors? Well, for a few different reasons. The biggest thing is computing power, is the amount of resources that this thing uses. We can only need technically about 4 gigs of RAM. Like you said, an i3 processor. Still recommend generally a solid state drive, but from what I've found and what I've talked with, especially with our agencies up here in the Northwest, Miranda, is that with other pieces of software out there, the offices up here were having to buy like 32 gig gaming PCs just to even handle it. And then buying the magnification and screen reading software on top of it was just costing a ton of money. So not only is it expensive, but then if you try to go with a lower spec PC with that other software, it may still technically work, but you're going to experience a lot more crashes and stuff like that. In addition,
you don't get to talk to Cody all the time.
Yeah, and then you don't get to talk to me either. Of course, there's that. So, also, as we mentioned, ours is awesome with the touchscreen. You've got the multiple monitor support. The Connect and View feature that we are showing is a free feature that comes included with it. So they also have the other thing that I didn't mention to you all that separates this from the competition is SuperNova does have it on USB, to where the USB stick is perfect for especially someone such as yourself, Miranda, who's a trainer or assessor. The SuperNova USB stick allows you to run SuperNova on a PC that does not have the software natively installed, and it does so by, it just runs strictly from the USB drive. And because it runs from the USB drive, it does not require administrative rights too. So if you have students or professionals working in a multi-PC environment, the USB should work just fine for them. So, and I can send you all sorts of info, Miranda, and on why SuperNova is better than the rest too. But I can go all day. So.
All right. Well, we'll save more time at the end for questions.
Sure.
But I want to get to the most exciting part of this and kind of what we've been building up to, which is like, this is great at home. It's great to have the Connect and View at home. And one part of Connect and View that we've really touted is the ability to connect to an external whiteboard. And what we always say is, you shouldn't, just because kids low vision, they shouldn't be forced to sit in a special chair. Why are all the low vision kids at the front of the classroom? That's just stinky. So we're going to show you how that can change and how you can connect directly into a teacher's computer, how you can connect directly into a smartboard, get a digital view up here through Connect and View, and not have to sit at the back of the class, not have to try to show a camera through somebody's head, anything like that. And then the really exciting thing about today's environment is we're not even in the classroom. We need to remote into that teacher's computer just so we can be in class at all. And it'll also do that. You can be on a different Wi-Fi network. To be really upfront, we'll have to work with the school IT people because the software doesn't love firewalls, but we have a simple VPN software we can give to your IT people, and they can allow this connection so students sitting at home can do the same things, have the same views and everything that we're going to show you in just a few minutes. Let me start by putting this guy away. Well, let me get off the view of it first, probably. Get the Ziggy cam, Connect and View cam out of our purview here. Okay, so now, again, I'm going to use Connect and View. But this time, when I go into the settings, well, actually, I haven't gone into the settings yet, I don't think. I go,
S3 of 3.
Just to explain where I am, underneath Connect and View, there's modes. I click on that, then I click on Connect and View drop down, then I click on the settings drop down, and that brings up this dialog.
Device.
And within this,
4K.
I can choose the camera that I use. This is the one I'm using for my Live Mag and
Evo V4K.
OCR.
Evo V4K.
But I also can connect into whiteboards.
Page.
And this
Devices.
isn't just whiteboards. This is really just connecting into a computer remotely. And so from the student side, all I have to do is go to New. I type in
Profile,
teacher's
new
computer, or
entry
whatever I
edit.
want to call it. Maybe make up a name for your teacher. I'm sure. most
Or
people
pick
have
the
them.
subject, of
Say
course.
lovely, wonderful teacher. We would all write that for sure. Machine name and password are given to you by the client side. So the teacher would just tell the student or email them, put in this machine name and this password. And then when the teacher turns on the software, the connect and view will work that way.
The
Or
view
we'll connect
settings,
into it.
Whiteboard page,
So
SuperNova control panel page.
what I'm going to do
Pull down
now
button.
is to show this well, I'm going to, oops, I gotta actually open this thing.
So while Jeff is doing this, what he's doing is he's getting my computer set up over there, another one of my computers, and he's going to be setting up SuperNova on that PC, and that one is representing the student's computer, and it's not connected to anything. It's wireless right now. And so what we're going to be showing is basically what he has up here. So you're seeing on the big display that we have, that will be the teacher's computer. Okay. And so we are going to show the remoting in using the connect and view feature, and it'll be done wirelessly. And
All right.
Go for it, Jeff.
Let me I'll put that screen up a bit more. Okay, so again, the big screen is now going to become the teacher's computer. So I'm going to turn that off.
Quit SuperNova. If you quit
Okay, so now, well, in a few minutes or a few seconds, this screen is going to become the teacher's computer with no SuperNova on it. Now this screen here is going to become the student computer. So imagine this is a computer, this student is sitting at home, this is miles away, could be hundreds of miles away, could be in the same classroom, wherever you want to be. So I'm going to go to Connect and View and go find those settings. You notice, I don't know if you can see this well, but Cody has the bold fonts turned on, a new feature in 1903. Really adds an additional bit of clarity.
It's a true fonts bold.
Yeah, baby. Okay, so we've noticed it works better sometimes if you turn the cameras off, just as you shouldn't have to, but just as a little piece of advice. And he's already got me listed in here, already put those settings in there. So he's good to go. So now from the teacher side, I need to open up, let me get some things out of my face. I need to open up this little utility. It's a free thing that we can provide for you. It says start Dolphin SuperNova Whiteboard Assistant. And you allow that to take over. When you open that, that gives you the machine name, gives you the password that I need to put into this computer. And then once I do, as I've already done, click on that. And this computer is now viewing the teacher's computer up here. And I have the ability to magnify and move around. I have all the same controls, so I can change the contrasts. I can change the, let me get back to, yeah, there's quite a few contrast options. I can change the magnification, which obviously I can do on the touch screen as well. But I have full ability to see what's on the screen and explore it. I can capture a picture of it. I can scan and read it. I'm really in there, and I have a full digital view of what's going on the teacher's computer. And now if the teacher wants to show me something in particular, it's going to move along with the mouse wherever I'm going. So I'll open up my, I thought I had a presentation open.
It's all right. Go ahead and fire it up.
Get a presentation open. So here's my slideshow.
There you go.
So wherever I am in the slideshow, it's going to follow along. The student's going to see what's going on. Get to another slide. So I'll show this picture. Oh, I want to show this picture. And then, you know, if there's a pause, not moving around, it's going to go where I want it. And now if that gets annoying, you can turn that off. So it doesn't have to follow the teacher's computer, but I think by default it's set up to do that because it's obviously very convenient. You get to the magnification level that you need, and then the teacher can just lead you through what they want you to read and make it real easy on you. So very cool way to remote into a teacher's computer. And now let's go one step further. I'm gonna close out of this presentation. I'm gonna open up Whiteboard Utility. So you notice how it's following along. Everything I'm doing, the student can see what's going on. All right. So now I've got a Whiteboard Utility on. That should now, yeah. So now wherever I touch on the screen with the Whiteboard Utility, it's now following that. Let me get back to presentation. So wherever I'm pointing on this screen, that's where the student screen is going to go. And you can even, with this one, you can like press on it and move stuff around. It's really cool little thing it's got. My kids showed me this last night. I didn't know it did. They're like, hey, look. And that's other cool things you can do that I did not know, and you only find out that it does that when you have children. So now I've got it set up where I want to highlight things. It's going to follow everything that I highlight. This one has a cool feature where I can use disappearing ink, really like that. So I can show stuff, and then, you know, I want you to look at this picture here, but then it goes away. Whew, disappears. It's very cool. Scan and read, pay attention to that. Gone now. Pretty fun. All the things your kids can teach you. But you know, this is just a regular smartboard setup, but actually we kind of went on the cheap and just took an old TV and got a little thing, has a little scanner that goes out, and I think it was 160 bucks or something. And now we've got this incredibly thing. I'm using it with my kids obviously already. Really useful addition to have SuperNova tie into such things, so we can just follow along completely wherever we are. So, you know, an example, I'm going to write on a standard kind of whiteboard. Oops, let me not use disappearing ink. All right, so everywhere I write, this is going to follow along on the screen. Nothing is missed. How awesome is that?
Please forgive Jeff's handwriting, guys. Can you zoom out on the, will you zoom out on the little screen for me? Just so people can get an idea. There you go.
Yeah, so you can move around, check that out. Oh, I really want to save this. Tap that, take a picture, and now it's all saved. I can scan. I don't think that would scan very well here, but you could do that.
So we've got two questions. The big screen is not a touch screen. No, that is actually just that's a third question. So that big screen, all it is a TV that we have. It's just literally a flat, it's an LG TV. We have this interactive whiteboard that we purchased online, and you can calibrate, you can basically just calibrate a section of something to turn it into an interactive whiteboard.
Yeah, I'm using this, the same surface I was using before, just connected into this TV that we had extra TV laying around. And then this is a separate computer remoted in from wherever. I mean, we happen to be on the same Wi-Fi network because we're in the same place right now, but this could be anywhere, in the classroom, at home. So definitely a super, super cool, easy way for low vision students to be keeping up with what's going on their teacher's computer.
Sure. We also have, let's see, Miranda asked, do you get audio from the host computer as well? Unfortunately, you do not through this Connect and View feature. That will not do that, but we are, and we'll talk about it in a bit, other ways of achieving that through either Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, or even Zoom. We will be showing and covering that as well. We also have another question that it looks like someone was asking if multiple low vision students use Connect and View. I'm assuming when you're asking multiple students, you're asking if multiple students can pipe into the same teacher's PC. Is that correct? Great. Okay. Absolutely. Yes. You do have that ability. I haven't had, I mean, in a lot of situations with the exceptions of, schools for the blind and stuff like that, I haven't had a lot of teachers who have multiple low vision students. So I haven't really had that come up yet, but there should be no reason why you can't do that. So any more questions, guys?
Well, and luckily our main support engineer is an expert at IT and networking. So we're all set up to help your school IT people and whoever other IT people get through this. If it's a home connection, if there's no special firewalls and things, it just works just like I showed you, no problem. If you have even a difficult firewall, we can work with you and make sure that this does work at your school.
That's a good point, and that's something that I'd also like to touch base on, Jeff, to kind of piggyback off of the remote support. And this is something that also separates it from the rest, is that SuperNova has TeamViewer remote support built into it, and it's native. And I'm aware that the other software out there has stuff like Tandem and whatnot. But the cool thing about TeamViewer is that it actually can be used on. Thanks, Don. He likes the background of my office. You make me lose my train of thought. The TeamViewer remote support. What's cool about that is that it allows you can use it on any platform. So not only can you use it on a Windows PC, you can remote into someone's Windows PC from an iPhone, from Android, from a Mac, they even have a Linux version if necessary. So a lot of times what I've had is even students, or we are happy to provide the free remote support for life always, but even in many situations it's something very simple to where you TVIs or professionals can just remote into the individual's PC and help them, because many times it may just be something like they have issues with turning the speech on or a certain feature. And so anything like that, it makes it very easy for them to receive help and support. And especially nowadays with COVID and our current situation where you can't actually visit with your clients. So.
All right.
All righty. Looks like we are.
We can always come back and show more stuff here.
Oh, I thought Don gave a compliment about my background. He was asking if it was actually the background of my office. I can never tell you that, Don. I guess you'll just have to live in wonder.
We're definitely not in my living room.
No. You'll have to come up here at some point, Don, and check it out. We'll take you out. So, all right. Let's get moving along real quick. I think I'm going to jump back over to my screen. Oh, we got a couple. Sorry, Dennis Scholl. I am sorry. Looks like you have it in the Q&A. If you don't have a mouse, what is the toggle hotkey on a laptop? Instead of caps lock middle mouse button. It actually doesn't have one yet, Dennis. There is a way, when we open that feature, there is a way to modify it. So if you are an individual who is using a keyboard or who just has trouble and is not using a mouse and just prefers to navigate that way, as many people do, or probably a majority of our clients do, you would just have to create it yourself, and you can do it rather easily. And you can do that with all SuperNova hotkeys as well. And you even have the ability to mimic competing software's hotkeys. So if you have a user that is using something else in the past and is a bit unhappy with it, or like to try something new, we can actually switch up the SuperNova hotkeys to reduce the learning curve for them. And then I see your other question here about the errors that we received when we were chatting the other day. I do have some info for you, and I can send that to you once we're done here. So.
All right.
All right, yes,
Slides.
I will.
We can get back and do more stuff here later.
Sure. Let me jump over.
Need to demo anything else?
I don't believe so. I think everything was good. All right, so let me close this down. All right, as I mentioned, coming up in some upcoming webinars, actually, the gentleman I was speaking about, Dennis, has mentioned that he would really like to see stuff in Google Meet, as well as Zoom and Microsoft Teams. And so we will be putting together a webinar to show how SuperNova plays in those environments and all the things that you can do within there. Of course, we can show how it works with Google Docs and Office as we did. Oh, here we go. It also includes the bookshelf feature that we have. So that's another cool thing that's that we have available within SuperNova, is that it actually has a bookshelf feature built into it. So you have access to many of your most popular online libraries, such as NFB, Newsline, NLS Bard, Bookshare, Project Gutenberg, and there's a few others in there as well. But basically what you can do is, rather than having the book sent to you, or receiving a little device or something like that to have them read aloud, you can actually just download them directly into SuperNova and read them. And even if you have a device that's capable of it, you can export those to a device to listen to at a later date. So, all right, these are a couple of the other features that we really wanted to show too, is our application settings. We'll see if we have enough time to cover everything, but basically what's cool about this application setting is, so as we showed, there's all sorts of magnification features that you have in there, and it's kind of a default. It's overall for your overall system, but what you can do with SuperNova is if you open a specific program, you can have certain features available to you. For example, if you want to set it at like 3x, in Google Chrome, and then have black on white contrast, and then if you're in Word, you could have it at 6x and have it, speak stuff aloud to you, whatever you prefer. So we're going to get that set up, and we'll be showing that very shortly. We also have a feature in here called hooked areas, and I don't think we'll have time to cover that, but basically you can keep a fixed area of your screen magnified at all times, and as well as having the rest of your screen at a standard magnification, because maybe you don't want everything magnified. It can be hard to find specific things if you're at such a high level of magnification. So sometimes that's a nice feature for people, and we can get there. Oh, I'll jump forward a little bit further.
All right, did you want to try to show the application settings?
Sure, let me jump back over to your camera real quick.
Beauty. Okay.
All righty.
Adjust the camera slightly.
Just gonna adjust the camera for us real quick.
Okay. All right, so this is one of the technical difficulties that we had. We're running parallels on the MacBook that Cody's using, and usually can show SuperNova within that, but I don't know what I did to parallels, but my computer overheats every time I try to do it. So as much as we want to show you this true digital, I'm going to just have to show you this on the screen, and I don't know how to do this, so Cody's going to have to walk me through.
We're going to walk him through it. And as we mentioned, guys, we had some issues with running it through virtual machine, as well as presenting via Zoom and this. So we're going to show this the best we can, and hopefully it doesn't bite the dust on us. So
you want me to open Word?
yeah, so what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and let's just start with Word. Yeah, go ahead and open that for me. So now,
even use multiple monitors.
All right, go ahead and zoom out for us real quick. All right. So we are in Word. So now I'm going to need you to hold down left control. No, let's go back into Word for me.
Visual page.
And now I turned the magnifier off, though.
Word.
Okay, there we go.
Multiple.
So where?
So now you're in here. Now go ahead and hold control and hit the space bar for me. Now go ahead and adjust your settings.
Let's see what it says.
Yep. So now it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the SuperNova toolbar, it knows what program you're in. It says winword.exe, Microsoft Word 2016. So now what Jeff is doing is he's just increased his magnification. He's also turned on his color scheme or contrast mode to a black on white. So basically you can adjust your settings within here. You have the program open. You pull up the SuperNova toolbar within that program, adjust your settings accordingly. Then what you're going to do is you're going to navigate up to File. You go to New and Application Settings.
Application settings.
Now from in here, you're going to create a new setting file.
Create a new settings file. Check.
Select OK.
Create a new setting. New settings.
Now go ahead and give it a name. If you want to set your settings profile, so I would name it something such as Microsoft Word or MS Word. Now we're going to have them go ahead and select a copy an existing settings file. Okay.
Settings file. Check.
Then we're going to select OK. All right.
The control panel.
So now go ahead and minimize that for me, Jeff.
Size 2.25 selected. List box.
So now we're in here
Use multiple monitors,
within Microsoft Word. Now if you close out or minimize Microsoft Word and click on your home on the desktop
top.
and
List view.
pull up your toolbar.
SuperNova 19 left mouse button. SuperNova control panel top. List view.
Go ahead and turn off your magnifier in here
Box.
and just turn off some of those settings.
SuperNova control panel.
So turn off your color scheme.
Page. Magnification.
There you go. Now go back into Word.
Scheme unchecked check box.
And
Word.
there we
Word
go.
automatically
Multiple
changes.
monitors, comma,
All right.
including
Now go ahead and minimize Word for me and click on your desktop
SuperNova control panel top.
and boom.
View. Recycle bin
Voila.
unchecked check box.
So you can also, as we showed you, you can do this in Word. You're able to do it in Chrome, any program you wish to do it in. The main thing that you need to do is have the program open first,
Control panel.
So it says. right
then
here.
pull up, yes. And you need to use Control Spacebar. You cannot access it through the taskbar at the bottom. You definitely need to use the Control Spacebar keyboard command to get that to happen.
Contrast.
And you can do it with as many
As
programs as you like.
Enhancements pull down button.
They want to do a different.
Schemes no, so, SuperNova control
That's a
panel.
good one.
Visual.
I don't know.
That's a color, that one's specific for color blindness. So there you go.
SuperNova
Sure.
control panel. Visual page.
Either way, okay.
Enhancements pull down button.
Did you make the application setting?
Oh, no, I never did I?
Slide view.
Dang it.
Enterprise
So you're fine.
Okay.
Go ahead and just open PowerPoint. Control space.
Control
Nope.
panel. Visual page. Magnification.
PowerPoint.
Magnifier on check box.
I thought I did.
Nope. PowerPoint. Now control spacebar.
Connect
Okay.
one PowerPoint. SuperNova
Now go to
control panel.
Application.
Oh,
Visual
yeah,
page.
so now it says PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Magnification group.
Now go to File.
Magnifier on check.
New. Application settings. There you go. Create new settings file.
Application settings.
Go to
Create a new
OK.
Settings file dot.
Go ahead and name it
New
whatever you
settings
want.
file. Enter the name for the new settings file, Microsoft Doc.
Ah,
There we go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Button. SuperNova control.
Now go ahead and just minimize that.
Visual Page. Magnification
You
group.
can jump over into Word.
Magnifier. Connect one PowerPoint.
Oops, what am I on?
You're in
Connect one
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Slide view. Enterprise Connect highlights left.
Word will be
Word.
different.
Even use multiple monitors, comma,
Mhm.
including left mouse button.
You got your different contrast in there.
YW driver. Top. List view. SuperNova 19.03
You do have to shut off the feed,
Magnum
yep.
screen reader on check box.
Go ahead and open SuperNova. Yep.
Control panel.
Turn it off on your
Visual
desktop. There you go.
top. List view. Recycle bin unchecked check box.
There you go.
SuperNova control. Left mouse button. Desktop.
Oh, because I
List
changed my
view.
main settings when
Recycle
I
bin
can.
unchecked check
Yeah,
box.
so you're on the desktop. So if you turn that off, and now go back into
Control
PowerPoint,
panel. Visual page.
it should switch back on for you.
Group. Connect
There you go.
one
There you go.
PowerPoint.
Beauty.
Select
Yeah, so you have it custom for whatever program you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can even, the situation settings let you do. So if you want to type into a dialog box and hear
Exactly.
character echo or not hear it and
Yep.
certain things.
So there's a few different things with the situational settings that you can do, or why it's important. So for example, a situational settings, like Jeff mentioned, like having a dialog box pop up in front of you. So if you are magnified on here, let's say, at whatever magnification, and you're using full screen, and the print dialog box or save dialog box pops up. Well, if you're magnified at that level, that dialog box is just going to be huge, right? Because you're not going to be able to see it. So what you can do with SuperNova is you can actually have it, what they call it situational settings. So you can have it do certain things when that action happens. And basically what for something like that, what you could do is you could have it as soon as your save dialog box pops up, you could have it zoom out a bit for you so that you can see it. Or another great example would be if a dialog box pops up where you need to enter a password, you could have it adjust the verbosity from just speaking the word as you type, for example, down to each character, as well as have it announce capitals if it's a case sensitive type of password or something like that. And so those are the advantages to the situational settings within here. And it's basically, the way you set it up is just the same way that we set up application settings, is that you pull up the window, your open window or save window or whatever it is. Then you hit Control Spacebar on your keyboard, adjust your settings accordingly, give it a name, and you're off and running. So let me see if we got, I got some questions up here.
Let's switch back to slides. There's a question slide.
Sure.
Let me show the presentation resources.
Let me jump back over. Power slide. There we go. All right. We got a few resources in here, guys. If you're interested in checking out the magnifier and speech software that we were showing, you can access it right there. That'll take you to the web page. We also have all of our Dolphin support resources. They're not only available on Dolphin's website, but of course they're on our website as well. You can also find all of our upcoming webinars by following that link right there. We're going to be throwing together a few more SuperNova ones. As I mentioned, we're doing the the remote learning using video conferencing. We'll be showing that. In addition to that, we're doing all sorts of other ones on tactile graphics and many of our other devices, as well as our, especially our new product line, the Clover handheld video magnifiers that have really taken off. And of course, you can find all of our stuff at www.irie-at.com. That's irie-at.com. You will find all of our info on there and much more. All right. Yes, we have questions, and I notice we do have many of them. So let's hop back up here. We've got the chat over here. After creating the application setting, maybe you want to toggle on contrast setting. Unless you save this change, will this application default to the application settings you have set? Create an application setting. I believe so, Miranda. I may want to discuss that with you afterwards. Maybe we'll have a chat. I want to get a little more info. Maybe you can give me some clarification on that. Can you copy application settings to other computers? I'm assuming you're saying like if they have SuperNova on there, Don?
You can export.
Yeah, you can export your entire SuperNova profile, not just application settings. You can do everything. So to where someone could just walk up to a computer at SuperNova, plug in a USB, import their profile, and they're off and running. And you can set multiple profiles too. Okay. We got some stuff in the Q&A as well. If I can get it to pull up. Oh. got some questions in there, but I can't access it.
We can't access it as a person either.
It's not allowing me to open up the Q&A.
That's really weird.
Let me just try something real quick. I'm not sure why it won't let me open up the Q&A. I've got 3 questions in there, it looks like, but I can't get to them for some reason.
So you were only getting chats?
Yeah, well, I was just accessing the Q&A, but for some reason it won't let me open it now. All right, I apologize, guys. There are 3 questions in the Q&A, and I'm not able to open them. If you could possibly just toss those into the chat for me, that would be awesome. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
It's really perplexing.
Huh. It is over. You guys are good. All right, you guys. I'm not sure if those other questions in there. Oh, I've got the bottom of my screen. I've got the toolbar up here, guys. I don't know. And I'm usually pretty savvy with this stuff, but apparently today, no matter what, I'm technically challenged.
It doesn't bring up any.
It won't bring it up for me.
What if you just share your desktop?
Yeah, let's try this real quick. See if I can
Be a
pull
little
that.
bit weird, maybe, but
There we go.
Q&As. You got them memorized?
Let's see.
Switch back.
Oh, it was mentioned about, you seem to imply that free access was somehow available. Well, technically, they do have a free version of TeamViewer there, Dennis, that you can fill out a form on their website and they will give it to you for free. However, if you use it time and time and time and time again, they'll get you and say, you know, they're detecting it for commercial use. And so they'll flag you on that, but there is a way to use it. Absolutely. They have a version for family members and stuff like that. Also, what you can be done there, Dennis, is, you know, if you have it, since it can be installed on multiple platforms, is you could remote in from different devices too, if you ever run into those types of issues. Which is,
Well, it's not expensive. If you
but
use it regularly, it's a good
yeah,
investment.
that's the other thing too, is if you use it regularly, it's definitely worth the investment. So, all righty, guys.
You see, were there other questions?
No other questions as far as I can tell. All right, you all. Thank you so much for your time. Oh, I appreciate you. You all, if you have any questions or need anything at all, please feel free to give me a call. I can be contacted directly at 541-257-1032. You also can reach me via email. It's my full name, Cody.Mitchell. That's CODY.MITCHELL@IRIE-AT.com. And I'm happy to help you. Also, you'll see right here on the screen, we have our upcoming next week, our upcoming webinar, the motorized drawing arm for tactile graphics. And we will also be doing a webinar on our IRIE Braille Buddy personal embosser. So
Thanks for joining us.
thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day.